Hello humans, I'm the AlienDoctor, but you can call me Alien, and welcome back to another episode of AlienCraft Season 2. This is episode 28, and to start things off, I want to show you something new that I have added to this world. So we're going to start off by putting all of my items into this chest that I have right here, because this does involve me dying. Okay, maybe I'm just gonna fly straight up. We'll just do it. We'll just die like this instead. It'll be fine. There we go. For a minute then, I don't know why. I just thought I wasn't gonna die. But anyway, now that we've respawned, we should see. Oh, maybe I didn't set it up right. Okay, I've messed around with the pack a little bit more. I didn't say Cortana. Okay, I've messed with the pack a little bit more. Let's try this again. So we're just gonna fly up and then fly down, and then we should die. Boom. And there we go. As you can see, I now have my head, and I can sit on this and use all the dies to adjust it, as well as obviously wear it as well, which is really quite nice. Now, obviously, we already had the death counter, and all of these are people that have joined the world in a live stream. I guess only the OGs probably remember that one. And the other thing we can do is if we use an armor stand and the player head, then we can craft an avatar. Now, what this lets us do is basically give us a life-size model, and we can kill this life-size model of me, and now it drops just normal. It's weird. It's slightly strange because you can just have me in the game. It's actually, it looks like, yeah, it's actually a little bit taller than the actual player, which is interesting. But nevertheless, it's a thing that we can do now. And this add-on is by Foxy Notel. I'll leave a link to it in the description if I remember, which hopefully I will. But enough about these really cool entities. Let's actually get on to what we're doing in today's episode. So last episode, we of course went exploring in the new 1.18 chunks, but this episode, we need to get on with our base because it's not going to build itself. As you can see, we have quite a large area to fill with builds. Now, the first thing that we need to do is probably a bit of planning. Now, as you can see right here, I have already done a little bit of planning. So I did this off camera, but you can see here, I have kind of planned out a storage room. So we're going to have an absolute ton of item filters. These will all be item filters, and this is like the size of an item filter on Bedrock Edition. And yeah, most of these chests will then be item filters. But what we're also going to have is over at the end over here, or something like that, we'll have some multi-item sorters or storage silos or something like that. I still haven't quite decided what we'll put at the end. It will probably just be some like random unsorted items, to be completely honest. But yeah, this is a pretty massive storage system, as you can see. Now, heading over to my testing world, I have been working on a Shulker Box Unloader because I thought it could be pretty cool to have a Shulker Box Unloader in this place. So this is what I've come up with, except for it actually does not work, which is kind of annoying. So I spent many hours, and I do mean hours, working on trying to design my own Shulker Box Unloader, and this is like the first of many revisions, but it never worked out. So I ended up looking at a tutorial, and I think I'm probably going to use this design. It's by Super Laggy, and yeah, it's quite small and simple and things like that. Compact, sort of like redstone circuitry like this isn't really my thing. I'm more into the sort of mechanics and that type of thing anyway. So yeah, I feel like going for something like this instead is just going to be a lot easier than wasting more time trying to design my own. Now, before we actually start working on this storage area, which is probably going to be the main bulk of this episode, I feel like it could be a good idea to actually do a little bit of work just planning out some of the building locations and things like that. I have a rough idea of where I want stuff to go already, and I also have a rough idea like what type of buildings to be, because each building will probably have a farm in it. So I just need to figure out where stuff is going. So I actually have no idea what to put alongside the storage room. So if this is like a futuristic tower, then this would sort of be like a futuristic warehouse, I guess. But yeah, I have no idea what to put there. I guess we could put another warehouse if we really wanted to. However, I was thinking somewhere over here we could actually put 3 flying machine-based farms: bamboo, kelp, and sugarcane. Maybe dripstone as well, I guess. So I guess we could do 4 actually. And I have already been working on designing a ton of flying machine-based farms, so stay tuned for those tutorials coming very soon. But yeah, I think that could be a good idea. So this corner will have the flying machine-based farms. Let me actually head into my testing world to see how wide they are. 1 second. Okay, so I just got back from my testing world, and I did do a bit of counting. And I know that each flying machine-based farm is about 15 blocks wide. Or that's 15 blocks wide, but it will also give us a little bit of space either side because we don't want the building to be completely flush with the actual farm. So I'm going to grab an armor stand with a banner like we have right here, and I'll use another resource pack to actually check the trunk borders of these things because it's just useful with things like flying machine-based farms to actually chunk align them. So here we go. Okay, so let's build... So obviously a chunk is 16 by 16, so this is kind of putting it a bit tight, but we could put like the first one here, and then it could go like along the back. This would give us a decent amount of space, I think. And then we could just leave like a 2-block gap behind here. Yeah, okay. I think this would be long enough. I know it's not going to be the longest farm in the world. Okay, so I'm actually going to change it to 16 blocks wide because then it's perfectly chunk aligned. I was kind of thinking about keeping it as 15, but honestly, let's just do it as 16 because then it's like perfectly chunk aligned almost. However, I guess this means we are going to have a 16 block gap in between these buildings, which is probably a good thing because then it will save a lot of space. So I'll just do the same thing again. These are the 4 buildings where we're going to have flying machine based farms. So I imagine it will end up being sugarcane, bamboo, dripstone, kelp or something. And I think it could be a good idea to have a melon and pumpkin farm in the base somewhere. We're not going to need an absolute ton of space for this. I imagine just a single chunk would work fine. And obviously I'm going to try and chunk line as many things as possible because we don't want things breaking. So where could we put a melon and pumpkin farm? Maybe next to the storage warehouse. Do we have any chunks free over here? Okay, yeah, we do. We actually have a couple of chunks over here. This one, and then like there'll be one obviously over there which we could use. So yeah, I think putting a melon and pumpkin farm in this space right here could be really good, and we're actually going to take the full advantage of this and actually make the building 1 block over the chunk border. So yeah, this will be our melon and pumpkin farm. Or actually, I guess we could have one for melons, and then I could build another one for pumpkins. In fact, yeah, let's actually do that. So, okay, here we go. So we've now got one for melons and one for pumpkins, and those will probably end up being kind of a decent height. Actually, no, they probably won't be, will they? Well, they won't be a decent height then. Ignore me. I just like remembered what melon and pumpkin farms look like. All right, so I think that's actually all of the farms in this area like planned out, at least for a while. So obviously we are going to have more buildings in the base than just what we've planned out here. However, I think for now, let's just focus on building up all of this stuff before we actually focus on any other stuff. Now, in this episode, my original plan was to do the storage, but I want to dedicate an entire episode to that, so we're not going to do that in this episode. I actually want to focus on building sort of like the outside of the wall area. So as you can see over here, I've done a pretty good amount of terraforming just to try and make the land outside here look a little bit more natural, and I'm quite happy with it. However, we're probably going to change an absolute ton of it because I think it could be cool to continue this river on like through here, just like around the outside of the base, which is going to be an absolute pain to do. Like, I'm really not looking forward to that, but it will also be good terraforming practice. So I think before we do anything else, let's actually work on just terraforming this area, because I feel like it's a bad idea to actually begin building like farms and buildings if we haven't even finished the sort of infrastructure that we're going to need to build the rest of the base. Okay, so I've been mining out this area just like you do, and it's taking absolutely ages just to mine out this little bit of stone. So even though it's just a little bit, I think we actually get some wither skeleton skulls. Well, we already have some, but I think we actually do a real quick wither fight so that we can actually grab ourselves a beacon, because honestly, I think it would just be useful having a beacon in this area. I think I've only done like 2 wither fights or something in this world. Obviously, at some point, we are going to need to fix the fortress farm as well, but there we go. There's 3 wither thingamabobs, and yeah, let's just do this. Right, I do have an infinity bow. Now, last time I did this, I did lose an absolute ton of stuff. Well, I lost all of my stuff, basically. So I'm going to fill up my inventory with totems and stuff because I do not fancy dying. Let's do this. And I don't know if you remember last time, but it took me many attempts. So today, I actually want to do this, like, first try. Hopefully, no deaths. That'll be useful. I got some instant health as well from the raid farm. And yeah, let's do this. Also, it just occurred to me, I don't have a ton of durability left on this infinity bow. Oh, why are there so many of those guys? Okay. This is already going terribly. There's so many silverfish. Oh no, am I gonna die already? This is terrible. This is just absolutely terrible. This was a terrible idea. I have regrets. Where even is it? I can't even see it. Oh, it's there. Okay, I've got a new plan, and it's called keeping a distance. Oh, but no, because it could just fly really near and kill me anyway. Oh, and this bow's almost out of durability. Okay, well, that is not good news. If we can, we need to try and get some hits on this using the sword then, because of how low durability this thing is. Bro, where even is it now? I can't even see it. All right, well, there's my sword completely broken. Okay, well, we have another bow and 6 arrows, but they're not going to do that much damage. There's also silverfish that we have to deal with. Okay, I'm just going to real quickly turn up my brightness because it's like really, really dark in there. There we go. That's a bit better. Oh, that was so close. Okay, we have no arrows left either, which isn't very good. Yeah, no arrows. Oh, this is just terrible. This is an absolute terrible idea. Right now, I think my best bet is to just try and deflect its own shots because it doesn't seem like I can actually get close enough to it to actually hit it with the sword. So yeah, right now what I'm doing is just trying to deflect the shots, and I may or may not be using an auto clicker. Okay, I got a load of shots on it just then. I basically flew towards it using my elytra and then basically auto clicked. But it's just like impossible to hit with your sword from this level. And it doesn't help that other mobs are spawning around here. And obviously there's all the silverfish that keep appearing as well. Although this is giving us wither roses, which is kind of nice. Okay, we got a couple of more good hits on it. That's good. Oh, no. Okay, it just randomly froze there for a second. I'm not quite sure why. It might have been targeting something else or something. Either way, that was kind of strange. Okay, well, we've almost got it down to half health, which is good. Oh, that was close to death. Whoa, where am I? Okay. Come on. So close. It's got to be like one shot or something. Oh, I didn't have a totem. That could have ended terribly. Okay, now we're going to get out of here. I'm just going to take a step back. Take some time to reheal. Wait, it has this ranged attack as well? I didn't know it could also do ranged whilst it was at half health. That's incredibly annoying. Well, hopefully, it's going to come over here so that I can actually hit it. Come on. Come on, Wither. I'm waiting for you. Although that doesn't really matter because it turns out I had a beacon in my wallet the entire time. Okay, so here we go. I've got the beacon out of my ender chest. It actually turns out I already had one. Yeah, I can't believe I didn't notice it. I thought I left it at the mining mesa, but it turns out I didn't. Now all we need is enough blocks to actually activate this thing. So I'm hoping that we have enough iron and 3 stacks. I think that's enough. So now I'm just going to grab some more totems. I also found a couple of golden apples and enchanted golden apples, which are going to be quite useful. Before I do anything else, I do want to grab some more totems though, because that sounds like a good idea. And I think it's unlikely we'll need instant health, seeing as we'll have the healing beacon now. But anyway, let's do this. And wow, you can already tell the frames in this area from all the entities down there. So we're going to need to be quite careful about this, because I don't think withers can actually blow up beacons, but you can never be too sure. But we're going to need to get close enough that we're still in range and stuff. Hello? Wow, it is quite laggy here. Not gonna lie. So I'm just gonna voice over this bit because otherwise we're gonna run out of time for the video, which would not be very good. So basically what I did was I dug down a hole and basically made a beacon so that I could fight the guy, the wither, the guy with 3 heads. He's really annoying. I don't know if you've seen him or noticed, but he's pretty annoying anyway. And then I basically fought him, and I didn't actually have my mic unmuted for this, which is partly why I'm also making the voiceover now. We don't need to talk about it anyway. Let's get back to the video. Bye. And there you have it. So I have successfully killed the wither. Once we got that beacon, it wasn't too hard. It was still kind of annoying to do. Because we already had that beacon, it's kind of incredibly pointless that we even killed this wither anyway, because I didn't realize we had that beacon. Originally, I was going to go to the mining mesa to get one, but then I realized I didn't leave it at the mining mesa, and it was in my ender chest the entire time, so I literally could have got it out of my ender chest, but no, I decided to kill another wither. So yeah, basically, long story short, I should really check my ender chest. But either way, let's get back to what we were doing. And oh wow, you can kind of see all of these items slowly despawning now, which actually looks kind of cool. I need to figure out which way is out, and I'm assuming it's this way. Now the real question is, can I fly up here? And the answer is yes, I can, because I am a professional. Now, does this beacon sort of ruin the area up here? Oh, well, it's just not existing right now. Let me turn on cheaty zoom. Why is the beacon not working? Is it? Interesting. That's probably more of an issue to do with 1.18, because that is below y = 0, I think. So I'm assuming it's not loaded anymore. Well, that's probably a good thing, because it's not going to ruin the sort of area out here. But anyway, I'm getting distracted. Let's continue on now that we actually have a secondary beacon, or we will do. And here we go. Our second or maybe third. I kind of lost count at this point, which is kind of embarrassing because it's not like it's particularly high numbers. But anyway, our next beacon. Now I'm going to grab some blocks and then we'll continue on mining out the stone. Literally, we only need it for such a small area, but it will also save us so much more time in the future as well. So it is just kind of useful to have this beacon. Okay, so I have done all of the terraforming for this area, and I have also just worked on the outside area of the wall as well to do some terraforming around that so that it isn't just flat, although I am going to get rid of this bit here because this is like a hole that looks kind of weird. There we go. So yeah, I've just been adding little bits of dirt and stuff to the outside just to give it this place a little bit more naturalism thingy. I don't know what the word for it is, but yeah, we've just got little things like this right here, for example, that just add a little bit of variety to the area outside here and also makes it look a little bit more natural. Now, I think at some point we should probably grab some bone meal and do the same thing that we did to this side of the wall. In fact, you know what? Why don't we do that now? There we go. That looks... There we go. That looks much better if you ask me. It just adds in a bit more natural stuff and a bit more vibrance as well to this place, because when it's done, it's going to be looking very, very sort of grey and cyan, terracotta and white sort of thing. And yeah, that just adds in a bit more of the sort of vibrant colours like red and yellow, but in a really subtle way so that it doesn't completely ruin the theme of this base, which is kind of the futuristic style that we're going for. But anyway, that is going to do it for today's episode. Thank you ever so much for watching. Feel free to like and subscribe today to join the Alien Empire. I'll see you in the next video, coming very, very, very soon. Bye.